I can't believe I actually did this. Well, hey, I'm Jeremy, and welcome back to the Simple Worship Leader channel, where we talk about all things worship and offer simple tips, tricks, tools, and ideas to help you enhance your worship leading strategy. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made while leading worship? I mean, we've all done it. Maybe we slapped the capo in the wrong place and started in a wrong key. The band started in one key and you started in another. Maybe you've missed an intro into a song, or maybe you found yourself singing on someone else's harmony line. And maybe you're like me and you've stumbled over lyrics and you've forgotten words, or maybe you totally flubbed a welcome or a transitional moment. Or maybe you tripped over a stage monitor in the middle of the pastor's invitation call. Whatever it is, listen, I've done all of those at least once, and I am under no illusions that I have actually reached my peak when it comes to making mistakes. Because I'm human, and you are too. Well, today I want to tell you a quick story about a time I really messed up and what I learned from it, and maybe offer a little bit of encouragement to you in those times when we make mistakes. Well, my story starts almost 20 years ago. I was doing a student summer camp in the mountains of Tennessee. And on Thursday nights of camp, the pastor and I had agreed that we would do a gospel invitation at the end of the service. So while he got up and he finished his sermon, he would step into an altar call type of moment. And I would just simply come out, start playing my guitar, maybe sing a little bit. Well, this particular night, I had a crazy sinus infection. And so right before the service started, I took a little bit of sinus medication. And I went on with the service. I did my songs. It was fine. I got done. The pastor came out, started doing his sermon. And I moved backstage to this couch. And I sat down on this couch and not realizing, y'all, I straight up fell asleep on that couch. I straight up fell asleep backstage during the sermon. To this day, I don't know how long I was out. I awoke to find the camp director kind of shaking me a little bit, saying, "Jeremy, you're supposed to be on stage." And I kind of opened my eyes. I shook off the grogginess. I kind of grabbed my guitar. I stood in the wings of the stage. I was waiting for the pastor to kind of give me a cue. And I caught his eye as he kind of looked over at me and shook his head no, as if to say, "No, I got this, you jerk," right? And so I kind of got the message. Man, I had totally just flubbed that up. Totally messed that up. Well, that camp pastor still hasn't let me live that down, and rightfully so. I messed up. And you know what? If you're like me, you've probably messed up before too. You've made some mistakes, because I have too. And making mistakes as a worship leader is something we're going to do. And maybe you won't fall asleep backstage, but we're going to mess up. We're going to flub our words. We're going to start in a wrong key. We're going to do those things. You and I are human. We're going to mess up. We are imperfect beings. And because of that, there are things that are going to happen that we don't do to the best of our abilities. And so we're going to mess up from time to time. And that's okay. I want to give you 3 quick tips on how to make it better when you've messed up. So first, give yourself some grace. Understand that you are imperfect, and because you're imperfect, the grace of God abounds for us. And when we make mistakes, God doesn't hate us. God doesn't get mad because, oh, you know what, you forgot some words during worship, because it's so much bigger than that. Allow yourself to say, it's okay that I messed up. Listen, I have high expectations for myself. I know you probably do too. And so when you make a mistake, it kind of just rubs us the wrong way because, man, I should have known better. I should have done better. But you know what? We are imperfect beings. And so God's grace abounds to us in those moments. So realize and understand and allow yourself to experience God's grace in the moments when you mess up, because it's okay. Nothing's going to go haywire in a worship service that can't be fixed. All right? So understand that first. Give yourself some grace. So secondly, own up to it. Listen, you made a mistake. Own it. We all saw it. You flubbed the words. We all heard you. You missed the cue. We noticed. Hey, you broke a string. Yep. All those things happen, and sometimes they're out of our control. So just own it and move on. Don't make a big to-do about it. There's no reason, oh, you know what, I messed up. Maybe chuckle at yourself a little bit and understand, hey, it's me, I did it, you know? I totally missed that. But that's okay, it happens. Now I'm leaning on the grace of God, which leads me into number 3, which is learn from it. Listen, as I've said already, we're human. We're going to mess up. So give yourself grace, own it, but learn from it. Learn how you can do better. Learn what not to do in those situations. Owning our mistakes doesn't mean that we shouldn't have to clean up after the mess has been made. Sometimes there's going to be a little bit of a mess we might have to clean up. Sometimes there might be a whole lot of a mess that we have to clean up. But in either case, learn from the mistake so that you can move on and be better because of it. Don't get bogged down and, oh, I just messed up and I can't do anything right. No, remember, fall on the grace of God, own it, and learn from that moment. One of the things I learned from falling asleep backstage is don't sit on a couch backstage. So in the end, you're not perfect, and I'm not either. And we're going to fail, and we're going to make mistakes, and there's going to be moments where we mess up, and we're going to go, I totally blew that. But you know what? God's grace is real. Own your mistake and learn from it. So have a good laugh at yourself, because life is too short not to. So thanks for tuning in to the Simple Worship Leader channel today. I hope this has been encouraging. I'll see you next time.